Merab Dvalishvili is set to make history at UFC 323 and hungry for a knockout. He is looking to finish Petr with a knockout or TKO. He credits his team, including John Wood, for helping him improve and says his striking has grown much sharper. He explains that early in his career he relied mostly on instinct when throwing punches, but now his approach is much more precise and controlled.
I would like to knock out my next opponent or TKO him. That would be nice. Yeah, of course. Yeah, thanks John Wood and everyone like around me who's helping me to get better, and yeah, I'm getting better, and then yeah, I'm improving my striking, you know. So first couple fights when I start fighting in my country, I was throwing hands, but I was just fighting from the instincts. But now I'm much clearer, and I hit and I don't get hit.
Merab Dvalishvili also makes it clear he isn't overlooking Petr at UFC 323, stressing that Jan is a dangerous top contender and that one mistake can change everything. He acknowledges how quickly a fight can shift and respects Jan's ability to create those moments. Merab stays focused on the matchup, but admits he's excited about the potential contender options waiting for him in 2026 if he gets the win.
First, I'm focusing on Petr. I don't overlook him. You know, he's a top challenger. You know, not every fight goes same way. You know, one mistake can change everything. And I realized that danger from Petr. I know he's he's dangerous, and it's a fight. You know, hopefully I'm gonna win this, and like you said, and we have more contenders. That's good.
Merab is excited because the division is very active right now with big fights coming up next month that will line up new contenders. He notes that Ayman Zahabi is on a long winning streak and has been calling him out, which he respects. He points out that Song Yadong is fighting Sean O'Malley, and if Yadong somehow wins, he is open to fighting him as well. He adds that there are other bantamweights booked in important matchups, and if they win, they could also become his next contenders.
Happy does it make you just to see all the activity in the bantamweight division right now? Some huge fights made for next month. Gonna line up contenders. Ayman Zahabi's out there saying he wants you. Yeah. No shortage of fights to come up for you next year, right?
Yes, I'm excited Zahabi is coming from a long winning streak, which is good. Yeah, Song Yadong has fight against Sean O'Malley. I mean, if Yadong wins somehow, it's gonna. I mean, of course, I'm cheering for Sean O'Malley, but if Yadong wins, then okay, I would like to fight him too. And then there is other guys then who has other fights too, and then if they win, like, and then I will have an ex-contender.
Petr also looks at Merab Dvalishvili's packed 2025 schedule and argues that constant activity isn't necessarily a disadvantage. He points out that fighting frequently is easy when every matchup feels like it's happening at home, adding that he went through a similar grind in 2018, competing 5 times without the comfort of a home setting and believing he could have doubled that number if circumstances were easier.
What's just your perspective on Merab's very busy year here, the 4 camps, the 4 title fights? How is that going to impact what version of him shows up on Saturday, if at all?
Все поединки были здесь, в Вегасе.
All of the fights were here in Vegas. One in Los Angeles with Umar.
Right.
Los Angeles, how many hours need flight to Los Angeles?
4 hours drive.
Okay, it's home too, да?
4 часа.
Это тоже дома.
Same thing as
Я
fighting
думаю,
at
что
home.
дома можно драться каждый
It's very
выходной.
easy to fight in your backyard. Here or Los Angeles, it's the same thing. You know, it's basically like fighting at home. You can fight at home every single weekend in your backyard. You can fight all the time. When I signed the contract in 2018, I had 5 fights that year as well, and they were not at home. If I could fight at home every one of those fights, I could fight 10 times that year.
However, Merab says that hitting a 15-fight winning streak would be a huge addition to his resume and something that genuinely makes him feel proud. He explains that he once only dreamed of fighting in the UFC and never imagined he would reach this level, but now he's still pushing forward, improving, and breaking records. Achievements like this motivate him even more because they show how far he's come and how far he can still go.
Yeah, and just last one for me. If you do win this fight, it'll be 15 in a row in the UFC for you. The record is Islam and Anderson Silva at 16. But what would that mean to you, I guess, to put yourself up there with the greatest winning streaks in UFC history?
Yeah, that would be great resume on my record, and yeah, that will be good, perfect. Like that's gonna make me even more feel better. You know, I was just dreamed to fight in UFC, and I don't know if I will ever come this far, but now I'm keep going and keep improving and breaking records, and this feels good for sure.
Petr Yan considers this title fight the most meaningful moment of his career, believing a win over Merab Dvalishvili would surpass anything he achieved during his rise, including his victory for the vacant belt against Jose Aldo. He views this matchup as a chance to reclaim his place at the top, prove his full potential, and deliver something important for himself and everyone on his team. Yan also makes it clear that if he wins, he is ready to run it back immediately and complete the trilogy without hesitation.
How much more satisfying is winning this UFC title going to be compared to the fight with Jose Aldo, which is, a vacant title and everything, getting your revenge here, everything you've been through? Is this going to be more satisfying than the first UFC title win?
100% этот поединок, он гораздо важнее для меня, для всего сообщества. Вот. Для меня очень важно вернуться и показать, на что я способен.
100%. This is a way more important fight for myself, for the entire team, for everybody who's with me. It's important for me to come back and to really show what I can do.
Petr Yan also believes that if he gets the belt back, Merab Dvalishvili fully deserves an immediate rematch. He says Merab has earned the right to ask for any matchup he wants, and if the UFC wants the trilogy, he's more than willing to make that third fight happen.
If you win this fight, it's going to have to be an immediate trilogy fight with Merab, given everything he's done as a champion.
Знаете, если...
Now, if you look ahead, I think that Merab deserves any rematch that he wants, whether he calls it out or the UFC calls it out, and I think that he deserves a rematch. And if I do win, I think that it would be a really cool trilogy to put that third fight together.
Meanwhile, Merab Dvalishvili brushes off concerns about making his fourth weight cut of 2025, saying he feels far better than people assume. He explains that staying this active was always his plan and thanks the UFC for giving him the opportunity to fight 4 times this year. He admits that cutting weight is always difficult and mentally draining, but says he has felt much worse on previous Wednesdays, and insists that today he feels good, focused, and ready to finish the job on the scale.
That was my goal, to be busy this year, and thank you UFC to make this one happen, but I was willing to fight 4 times this year, and it's happening. Yeah, we are in 5 weeks. Today is Wednesday. All I have to do is make weight and be happy after.
Yes. How is the weight cut going? Because we already see everyone, they're dissecting your interviews, they're wondering how you're looking and how you're feeling. Can you share with us?
It's never easy. It's always tough, it's mental game, but I've been worse feeling on Wednesday, but today, I'm good. I feel good. Yeah, but I'll be fine.
Merab Dvalishvili further talks about how draining his weight cuts can be. He admits that the process often leaves him low on energy, occasionally sleepy, and wanting to take a break. He explains that the combination of limited food intake and mental pressure makes it especially tough, and even though staying hydrated raises his weight, managing both the physical and mental aspects of cutting is always a challenge.
Yeah, so weight cut is never easy, and it just right now, I don't have I feel like we'll be off sometimes. I don't have energy, and I feel very low energy. Sometimes I want to take a break, and sometimes I feel sleepy because I don't know, because of I wasn't eating last 3 days, but I was drinking, but now because I was drinking water, my weight is high, so and then I'm nervous. It's a mental game,
On the other hand, Robert Whittaker doesn't see how Petr Yan could overcome Merab Dvalishvili in a rematch. He notes that Merab has become more defensively sound and comfortable mixing striking with takedowns, which only improves his overall game once he establishes control. Whittaker points out that this approach has worked against Corey Sandhagen and other top opponents, making Merab extremely difficult to beat. He emphasizes that Merab is unique, referencing how he landed over 49 takedowns in their first fight, and doesn't see a clear path for him to defeat Merab.
I think he's gotten defensively more sound with his striking. I think he's much more comfortable striking and mixing it in with the takedowns. And once he establishes takedowns, his striking's going to look better for it. And that's what he did against Sandhagen. That's what he did against all the other guys he's come across. Yeah. It's just, I don't see where the avenue for victory is. You have to out Merab. And that is, he's special. I don't think there are 2 of him in the world, He shot north of 40 times in their first meeting. So, I don't see where that avenue of victory lies for Petr. And he's a great fighter, don't get me wrong. I just don't know where he beats Merab.
Michael Bisping also analyzes Petr Yan's path to success in the rematch against Merab Dvalishvili, emphasizing the need for a strong start and avoiding early setbacks. He notes that Yan usually takes time to find his rhythm, which works in 3-round fights, but falling behind early against Merab could be dangerous. Bisping warns that once Merab gains control, he can dominate physically and mentally, so Yan must assert himself from the opening bell.
He's got to get off to a fast start. He can't afford to go 1 round down. Yeah, it's a 5-round fight, and Yan certainly has a 5-round style, so that will help him in this matchup. But often, even in those 3 fights that he did win, he finds his groove in fights. He takes his time. He's not exactly fast out of the gate. You might call that a championship style because he's used to doing 5 rounds. In the 3-round fights that he had, he was able to get away with it. And yeah, this is a 5-round, but even still, you don't want to give Merab that mental advantage, because we saw against Corey Sandhagen, we saw against Sean O'Malley. As soon as he feels that he's in control, then he just starts to run away with it and starts quite literally making fun of his opponents and kissing them and waving at Dana and talking and all kinds of stuff. You don't want to let Merab, who is flying high with confidence, stacking up title defenses like crazy, you don't want to let him get an early mental advantage.
Sean O'Malley also analyzes the upcoming Merab Dvalishvili versus Petr Yan rematch and highlights the key risks for Merab. He believes Yan can only win if Merab becomes overconfident with his striking. O'Malley points out that Yan's speed, sharp counters, and willingness to trade make him dangerous, but he notes that Merab's fight IQ gives him a clear advantage in navigating those threats.
Who do you think wins, Merab or Yan?
I mean, the only way I see Yan beating him is Merab's getting confident in his hands. You know, he damn near knocked out Corey Sandhagen, but he's punching more. He did it with Umar too, where he was, you know, kind of throwing some more combos. And he did it with Corey. Peter's someone you got to be careful with, like keeping your chin up, because he'll capitalize. He's got such good counters. He's fast. He'll sit in the pocket. He'll trade. But Merab's just, I mean, he's got, I think his fight IQ is smarter than his regular IQ, and he's got a good fight IQ. So I think he's gonna go up. I don't think he's gonna necessarily sit and try to trade with him, but you never know.
So ultimately, you're leaning towards Merab unless he kind of falls in love with the striking and gets caught.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I'm thinking.
Sean O'Malley thinks that Merab Dvalishvili enters his 4th title fight of the year with impressive confidence. He notes that most fighters would feel worn down by such a busy schedule, but Merab is different. O'Malley describes him as naturally tough, not overly rigid with diet or training, and physically built to handle the demands of competing at a high level repeatedly.
God, Merab is so confident right now. It's his 4th title fight this year, which I don't know if it's necessarily a good thing. I would lean more towards that being a negative than a positive as far as like all around how your body feels. But again, Merab's built different. He really is. He doesn't eat super clean. He doesn't get to the gym and stretch or warm up. He's just built different. So who knows if his body's hurting or broke down, or if he's just running off straight fucking Georgian rice.
On the other hand, Tim Welch praises Merab Dvalishvili as the greatest bantamweight of all time, describing his dominance as undebatable. He highlights Merab's long win streak and the elite fighters he has defeated. Welch stresses that Merab's consistency and skill make him a formidable challenge for anyone in the division.
The great Merab Dvalishvili. Right now, it's really undebatable. This guy is the greatest bantamweight of all time, easily, and he's taking on Petr Yan. Petr Yan is a freak. This guy is on a 3-fight win streak against very tough opponent. He beat Yang Dadong, Song Yadong. He beat Davison Figueiredo, former 125 champion, and then Marcus McGee, who is an absolute stud. He's taking on Merab. Now Merab, I'm pretty sure, shot on him 49 times, which is absolutely unheard of. Merab Dvalishvili, his win streak is insane. Everybody knows it. Corey, Shane, Umar, Shane, Henry Cejudo, Petr Yan, Jose Aldo, and this guy's a real problem.
However, Tim Welch warns against underestimating Petr Yan, noting that many fans are counting him out ahead of the rematch. He points out that Yan may have been limited by a hand injury in their first fight, which affected his power. Welch explains that Merab Dvalishvili's aggressive style can leave him vulnerable when going for knockouts, citing how his chin appeared exposed during a flurry against Corey Sandhagen. He adds that Yan's precise boxing and skill with the small gloves give him a real opportunity to capitalize on that opening.
I tell you what, a lot of people are counting out Petr Yan, and I feel like they're making a mistake. This guy, supposedly, he had a broke hand in their first match, and when you watch them fight, it kind of does look like he has a broke hand. He's not winging it with full power. Now, Merab is hungry for a knockout. He's hungry for a knockout. He's hungry for a TKO, and that is where I think Petr Yan has the opportunity to crack Merab when Merab is swinging. You saw it against Corey Sandhagen when he really started to flurry against Corey Sandhagen. That chin is floating. That chin is floating, and Petr Yan is a master of boxing with little 4-ounce gloves. Anything can happen.
Meanwhile, Merab Dvalishvili admits that his rematch with Petr Yan will be challenging. He notes that Yan is a tough opponent who likely underestimated him in their first fight. Merab adds that while Yan may have been surprised initially, he now knows Merab's skill level and will enter the rematch fully prepared.
Yeah, Petr Yan is really tough opponent and tough guy for me, for sure. So I always knew that. Even I beat him in the first fight. He don't give me much respect. He was thinking he will like just beat me easy, and then I'm sure he was surprised first time, but now he knows how good I am, and he will be well prepared.
Merab Dvalishvili anticipates a very strong performance from Petr Yan in the rematch, which forces him to stay completely focused. He admits it's tough to stay motivated against someone he has already beaten, knowing Yan will be extra determined this time. Merab stresses the importance of keeping an underdog mindset, aware that Yan will adjust and come at him hard. He acknowledges that maintaining this mindset in training and during the fight is challenging, but he hopes to manage it effectively.
You know, I'm sure he will come strong, and so me, I have to be also focusing. I know it's hard to focus when you beat your opponent first time. Second time, it's hard to like motivation because I'm a winner, but this guy lose against me, and now he will have a more motivation. And so me, I have to keep a same mindset, like say I think underdog mindset, you know. Even I'm champion, I have to keep an underdog mindset because I know he's gonna come hard. He's gonna change his like style fights, and yeah, I have to be just. I'm talking now, but it's hard to do when in the training or in the fight. Or I hope I will do it, but you know, it's a new fight and a new date, and we never know.
That's all for today's video. How do you see this matchup playing out? Drop your predictions in the comments below. If you enjoyed the content, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more amazing videos.